Page 22, Day at the Zoo. I'm going to go through the routine I used to learn a piece of music. Let's see what happens. I look it over. I like to have an idea of how long it is. And this is about 2 pages long. It has repeat sign in it, so it's longer than that, but it's only about 2 pages of music to learn, and that's what I'm after. The clef signs are treble and bass clef. I always check the clef signs because they're not always treble and bass clef. You get in the habit of going through the routine, so I just make sure that's part of my routine. I have the habit of doing it whether I need to or not. And then the key signature is 2 sharps. So we're either in the key of D major or B minor, because those are the keys with 2 sharps. If I look at the end here, sort of probably in D major. I'm guessing D major, but I'm going to go ahead and do the scales and arpeggios for both D major and B minor. Yeah, both. At least 1 octave up and down. Just familiarize yourself with the notes that are in the key. That way, when you get them in the pieces, you already know which block keys to use. You don't have to worry about what's sharp now, what's not now. Just play the scale and play the notes that are in the scale, unless you get an accidental. And 4/4 time signature. I'm going to take it one hand at a time, make sure I understand what each hand is doing. Right hand, you're here to start at 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Measure 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. So I go through the right hand, check it out, okay. Left hand, same thing. Here, it's playing the same thing, right hand, and during the rest you come down here. 1, 2, and broken chords. If you don't want to be up in here, you can do a 2, 3 and stay out here. It depends on the size of your hand. I don't know how big your hands are. I tend to stay out here because I got larger hands. I like the keys to stay out here. But if smaller hands, you can come up in here. No big deal. But I'm going to do that. And then here. Now, when you get to the bottom of page 22, then the repeat sign, you're going to go back to the reverse repeat sign there. I'll measure 5. In the left hand, you want you here. And you can get away with it because of the staccatos. But when I first play a piece and learn it, work of fingering out, I play it all connected. I would like to be able to connect it with the fingers if I can, because I found that is a much safer fingering, especially when you get nervous, because you want to really secure what you're doing. So at the bottom, the last measure on page 22, you're here, and scratch out, you're here. Well, when I go back, rather than 5, I'm going to do here. I'm in this position. It's a D chord, extended second position, and that's the fingering. So I'm going to go a 3, 2 first, here, after I repeat. This way I don't have to do that. So it's, and then I can scrunch up. That's what I'm recommending you do here. So the last measure on page 22, you hear, and then reach down, and then 3. To repeat, and then 5. Let's go over to page 23 here. It's what measure 15, where the double bars are. It's 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's all it is, okay. So then once I can do that, I'll put the hands together. Now, I usually hesitate a lot here. I don't care. I just want to know how the hands are working together. At the beginning, they're just playing the same thing. Rest. Right, left hand comes. Right hand stays there. There. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So they're not always on the same. Okay. Just really tricky trying to get the hands to work together, but you take it really slow and count out the eighth notes. 1 and 2 and you can work it out that way. It's measure 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now what I do sometimes when the music in there gets complicated and the rhythm is there, I'll take a pencil and I'll draw in a vertical line above the top staff where the beats are. And that tells me where the notes fall in line with the beats. So measure 5, that's a beat, and that's a beat, and this is a beat, but this isn't. That's in between the beats, and then that's a beat. And then here, and then no beat, and then the beat, no beat, beat. Well, there's nothing confusing about that, is there? It's just, I just want to know where the beats are. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3, and just work it out really slow and careful. The whole thing that way. What I hope you don't do, is what most people do, is they will wait to hear it. They play it for me first, let me hear it. Please. I would prefer that you be able to read the music and figure it out on your own and discover what it sounds like on your own. Then once you can play it okay, compare it with other people. But don't copy them. So, oh, you played it that way. Is that how it goes? No, there's no guarantee they played it correctly. You read the music and you figure it out. That's what I'm after. It's a harder way of doing it, but I'm a hard teacher, so it works out great for me. So once I have the notes and the rhythms okay, then I go back and I add the articulation. Accents, staccatos. Add in that's goodies. And you don't have to go that fast. Take it real slow. Just get the articulation in. Then I'll add in the dynamics. F at the beginning, it's going to be both hands here. It says that makes the accented note a very loud note. And then measure 5, that's moderately loud, whatever you think sort of loud is. This has to be soft. The idea I tend to bring those out a little bit just because there's nothing going on in the right hand, and it gives them a little flavor. And then I go back in the background. Now, top of page 23, you're moderately loud here in the right hand. And then here, come down, get softer, because now we're moderately soft. And it's the left hand that we want to hear. The right hand, keep it in the background. Then on measure 21, you get the crescendo. You're going to go back up to moderately loud for measure 23. So take your time. So I saved most of that crescendo for measure 22. So I didn't change much in measure 21 at all. Now, a little louder. Now. Again, ideally, you get comfortable enough with the music where you're not thinking about the notes and the rhythms, and you're getting into the music, you're feeling the music, you feel the dynamics too. Then the speed. Bouncy with an optional swing. Well, bouncy, good luck with that. The optional swing, it means you can. If you want to, you don't have to. You can play them straight. But if you'd like, you can swing it. Now again, if you're going to swing them, don't go too fast. The swing will slow it down a little bit. So you decide on the speed you're going to go and go with it. It'll be different for different people. That's what the beauty of music is. It's a personal thing. What do you think it should be? Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any louds and softs. I'll do the accents maybe, but I'll do the staccatos and all that junk, but no louds and softs. And we are going to do the repeat. You see the repeat at the bottom of page 22 and the reverse repeat sign. You going to do that? Okay. Going to do that too. I'll give us 4 counts. And I think I'm going to swing the rhythm for this too if you want. You don't have to. You can play straight 8th notes if you'd rather, but I'm going to swing it. 1 and 2 and long short. Yeah. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Yeah. One and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Rest.